continue in the retail sector. Holdsport has come out with its numbers, its full year numbers, and that's to the end of February of this year. Of course, in the studio with me in Cape Town is Kevin Hodgson, who is the CEO of Holdsport. Here we go. Sales up 10.5%, Kevin, to 1.3745 billion. Nice chunky numbers. Core headline earnings per share up 7.3%, quite respectable. And you say you've got strong cash flow from your operating activities, and also quite gratifyingly a 23.4% increase in your total gross dividend. I must point out that Kevin is looking very casual today. You can't see it, but he's got a very bright pair of tackies. Presumably that's from Sportsman's Warehouse.
No, you're quite right, and I thought it was a secret that was going to be kept between the two of us.
No secrets with me, unfortunately. Seriously, how's the business going?
Look, I think we were relatively satisfied with the full year. I think that in particular Sportsman's Warehouse was a good result. If one considers that last year we had a Rugby World Cup and the year before that we had a Soccer World Cup, and we never had those types of replica apparel opportunities this year. So that was a big chunk of our turnover that was never going to be replaced. So to deliver the kind of performance we did with Sportsman's Warehouse, we were very pleased with. Outdoor Warehouse was a kind of a less pleasing kind of result, mainly because that particular market segment is a little bit more challenging. It doesn't seem to be growing at the same rate that the mainstream sporting goods market is. And we were very pleased with the progress we made in performance brands. We acquired the Cape Storm brand during the year, and whilst it took a little bit longer for us to kind of digest that acquisition, we've relaunched that brand, and we believe the First Ascent brand made further inroads into the technical apparel market. So all in all, we were reasonably satisfied.
You're not the sort of company that we report upon every single day on CNBC Africa. You're a small cap. So give us an idea of your earnings pie chart, if you like. I mean, Sportsman's Warehouse presumably the most important in terms of contribution to earnings.
Yeah, Sportsman's Warehouse would contribute about 75% of our retail turnover and retail profit, and is far and away our flagship chain. The balance made up of Outdoor Warehouse and to a lesser extent Performance Brands. Also, I think the majority of our profit gets made in the second half of the year. So, the full year, the first half is generally a dress rehearsal for the full year, and a lot depends on our performance during
because of the holiday season.
Very much so, holiday, and then in our case the back to school activities that take place with children requiring sporting goods for the new school year.
How big is a big event like the World Cup 2010 for you? Because you do, I mean, not you, but the industry charges through the nose for these replica shirts. We had the Africa Cup of Nations recently, and all of us on CNBC Africa were forced to wear replica shirts. Do you get these spikes, discernible spikes in business because of these events?
I think it does two things. First of all, there is an opportunity to sell replica apparel. However, the Football World Cup in South Africa was a significant event. It's way less of an event when it doesn't take place in South Africa. A Rugby World Cup, because we're so fanatical about rugby in this country, it doesn't matter where it takes place, it's still going to present an opportunity to sell more of those particular apparel items. But I think what those events do is also boost a sense of pride in your nation following sport. It creates increased levels of interest and a level of kind of a sense of well-being, which we found does result in more activity in our stores. So it's a kind of a twofold approach, opportunity to sell product and a focus on sport.
We've been speaking a lot about the retail sector of the JSE on CNBC Africa's suite of programmes, and we've just had Wayne Hook, the CEO of SPAR, talking. There's a general feeling that there are tough times ahead. There's obviously a great difference, I would presume, between the customer that goes to SPAR and the customer that goes to Sportsman's Warehouse. I mean, we're talking about someone who climbs a mountain and watches rugby that goes to your stores, and that is a very different either demographic or LSM group to maybe the SPAR customer.
Look, there can be no denying the fact that our business operates in the discretionary goods end of the market, and it could be argued that it's highly discretionary. You can survive quite comfortably never going into a Sportsman's Warehouse or an Outdoor Warehouse, but people need to eat, and I think that that end of retail is quite different to ours. Our customers are generally more affluent, and as such are somewhat more resilient to downturns in the economy.
Yeah, I was going to say that actually, if you are serving the more affluent part of the South African population. Then if you look at someone like if you speak to someone like Woolies, they say, yeah, we are servicing a higher end, and they are not affected as badly as the people, for example, that have to go for microloans.
We believe so, and I think added to that is the fact that when times are tough, people perhaps may eat out less, but they may take a decision to get fit, buy a new pair of running shoes, and kind of, adopt a more healthy lifestyle. I think what really does drive turnover in our business is a sense of consumer confidence and well-being. So whilst there is a somewhat defensive characteristic around the nature of our customers, they still need to feel in a positive frame of mind to purchase freely. And the types of purchases, the types of items that we sell, the purchasing decision can be deferred. And if the team has won on Saturday, or the news in the papers is good, and people are feeling in a positive frame of mind, generally that precipitates an earlier purchasing decision than if the news is generally negative.
Okay, so you've got some defensive qualities there, but on the other hand, you do sound some notes of caution in the results that were published this morning. How are you going to grow the business? Is it going to be acquisitive? Is it going to be outside of the borders of South Africa? Are you going to get bought by somebody?
Well, I think there's a multi-pronged approach. First of all, we believe that there are stores that potential to open new stores where we don't have current locations in South Africa, and we're going to continue to pursue those. We opened an outdoor warehouse and a sportsman's warehouse in Rustenburg, for example, this year. We never had any representation. We are also quite keen to make some of our bigger stores bigger, where we believe that there's the potential to achieve a greater level of turnover, where our levels of trading density are getting to a point where we physically need more space to generate more turnover. And then to relocate certain stores to, let's say, more environments that we can access a slightly different customer, or a mainstream customer, for example, shopping malls. In addition, I think the sporting goods industry is quite an exciting one, in that there's an ongoing development in product and new product categories and trends, and there's opportunity to expand ranges and find new niches and new categories. I think that acquisitions are always a possibility, and as I mentioned earlier, we acquired the Cape Storm brand last year, and 3 years ago acquired the First Ascent brand. And technical apparel is a category that we're very excited about, and whilst those are small acquisitions, they did present us with strategically certain new kind of opportunities that we didn't previously have. So we are always on the lookout. In terms of your last comment, yes, we don't quite know. We're a public company. There's no major kind of shareholder of reference, and as such, I guess that technically that would make us an acquisition target.
But quite fun to stay as you are at the moment.
I beg your pardon?
Quite fun to stay as you are at the moment as a small cap. You seem to be one of the more relaxed CEOs we've had on the show recently.
Well, thank you very much. I mean, I wouldn't say retail's a tough game, and I think that you're only as good as your most recent set of results, and I think we're comfortable that we're in this position. However, we're already 2 months into our new financial year, and I think that we've still got quite a lot of work to do to produce another pleasing set of results this time next year.